All right, let's go, baby. It's Goji time once again. All right, and this time we got a double review. Playmates, baby. More Playmates. Yes, please. We have the City of Destruction Godzilla with tank and battle damage reveal. Just to show you the box right there, you have a nice red picture of Godzilla. And then we have the Playmates Kong of Skull Island, Ferocious Kong with helicopter and chain propeller. And he also has battle damage. Now, I got these from a seller, Oh Hello Allie Joe on Poshmark. And she was telling me that her son Alec, what up Alec? Shout out to Alec. Was glad to hear that Godzilla was getting a good home. And don't worry, Alec, I'm going to take really good care of him. He's going to be kept clean and on my shelf. And I'm really happy to have this guy. I'm just as happy as you are that he found a home to get him myself. So, and we're going to get them both out of the box and talk about them and give them a good review. And before we do that, I just want to say that, you know, Playmates went from its Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla X Kong lines to just a Monsterverse line. So maybe where they'll do other monsters from the other films. This is their first attempt at the 2014 Godzilla, the Godzilla that fought the Mutos. And this is not Burning Godzilla. This is City of Destruction Godzilla with tank, which is basically just, you know, a stylistic approach that they took with the paint job, I guess, to kind of mimic the way his fight looked at night with the Mutos. And I think that's a pretty cool idea. And then, of course, this is basically young Kong, teenage Kong from Skull Island that fought the Skullcrawler, you know, with the chain propeller, which looks quite nice. I can't wait to get that one out of the box, too. So, you know, we got some things. We got the helicopter, the chain propeller, and then we have Godzilla with the tank. So, it's cool to not only get these figures, but to get them with a few accessories. Let's turn them around for a second here and just look at the back of the boxes. Of course, you have a really cool picture of the figure of Godzilla right here with the tank. Battle damage reveal. Godzilla City Destruction, Godzilla with tank. Monarch classification, Titanus Gojira. Unleashing a devastating heat ray blast, a skyscraper snapping tail swipe, and the ability to crush armored tanks like tin cans. Godzilla emerges from the dark and mysterious depths of the ocean as a towering apex predator to battle aggressors that threaten the balance of nature. Wow, that's pretty long-winded, man. What do we got up here? The monsters of ancient myths and legends are real and battle for dominance across the world. Humanity's efforts to coexist with these titanic forces of nature is led by who? Monarch, a highly equipped organization of the bravest scientists, adventurers, and military specialists in the world. Now humanity enters a brave new era of discovery filled with unknown dangers. And it says the same thing on Kong's box. And then we have Kong, Skull Island, Ferocious Kong with helicopter and chain propeller. Monarch classification, Titanus Kong. The mighty Kong rules his Skull Island kingdom with primal strength, unleashing a bone-crushing barrage of seismic punches and a deafening alpha roar in combat. Able to improvise and wield weapons, Kong swings a massive ship propeller chain whip to tear through super species that dare threaten his reign. So yeah, I think it's really cool, by the way, that Kong uses tools and weapons. You know what I mean? Sets traps like we saw in the new Godzilla X Kong movie. But all right, enough of the chit chat. Let's get these bad boys out of the box and see what we got. All right, so now straight off the bat, I have to say this is why I love Playmates. These are some really nice figures. They stand out. They're really, really detailed. They're a stylized approach to these characters. And they look great, and the paint jobs on them look great, and they're interesting figures. And I'm happy that Playmates is doing, you know, the entire MonsterVerse. So who knows what else we're going to get out of them. But these are really, really cool, both Godzilla and Kong. And of course, just to show you, you know, that's the tank and the helicopter that come with it. And then these are the pieces that go over the battle damage. So I'll just show you the battle damage first. It kind of looks nice on these, the battle damage. Yeah, you can see that right there. It's just red, I guess, to make it look like a wound, like blood. And so I'm gonna put those pieces on right now, and then we'll get back into the review. All right, so now the battle damage pieces are in. You can see here, I really like the helicopter and the tank. I like the basic plain colors of them, you know what I mean? It's nice to just get those to go with the figure. And this right here, man, the chain and the propeller looks fantastic. Look at the detail and paint on that. Really looks like a chain and a piece of metal, a chain and a blade, a propeller. Fantastic. And Kong looks great here. You know, this is Skull Island Kong, remember. So this is like Kong in his teenage prime right here. This is Kong before he actually ever met Godzilla or fought Godzilla or anything. And I love the way this figure is done. I love the paint on it. I love Kong's face on it, on this. Wow, they really nailed it, you know? The teeth look great. The inside of his mouth looks great. The brows, the fur looks fantastic, you know? His six-pack looks good, you know? And then you get to the bottom of his feet, and they're kind of painted white. Now, I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's to symbolize being in the water, if it's mud, maybe. I'm thinking this quite possibly could be like mud. You know, like, I don't know. It's something about, you know, the last fight with the Skullcrawler. That's when he had this chain propeller. So, you know, it's that paint is to convey that message. And then Godzilla just looks beautiful, man. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you what. The paint on this, I feel like, was the right choice. You know, first of all, there's no mistaking this for burning Godzilla. It's just not that. It's a stylistic approach. It's I don't know if it's to basically symbolize like the burning city of destruction as he's fighting the Mutos, or it's just meant to like represent the reflection of the burning city, I guess, on his skin, because they fought at night, you know? And that's what I think of when I see this. I think automatically of his fight with the Mutos at night, the final fight with the Mutos. I think that's what they were going for with this figure, and they have certainly achieved that. It's got a really cool paint job. His dorsal plates are painted. They didn't go to the all the way to the tip of the tail with the paint job here, but I love the tail. I love the way the tail is upswept like that. That's beautiful, you know? It looks so whip-like right there. And that looks really, really incredible. And then, of course, you got this paint that goes, you know, down from his chest all the way down to his legs and a little bit on his feet. He's got shades of it on both of the arms, which is a nice touch. The eyes are serviceable. Yeah, the eyes look good. The facial sculpt looks good. Let's see how it looks with the mouth closed. Not as good. Mouth should stay open on this. Of course, you could see the tongue right there. Yeah, the best way to pose it would certainly be with the mouth open. And this just is a really well done. I love the head. Finally, you know what I mean? They made it. I like the bigger, boxier head of the 2014. Not every figure got that right, you know. And now, like, Godzilla has a smaller head than he did on the 2014. But I like this style. This guy's a big boy. Look at them big, chunky legs right there, and them big elephant feet. You know, that's what you know, that's what separated the 2014 Godzilla. I think he was like very realistic as far as, you know, how that creature would move around, how he would look, what his body parts would look like. You know, but they've since slimmed them down. And I really love the dorsal plates on the 2014 Godzilla. These are not 100% accurate to that. They're, you know, the actual ones are a little more spiky, but these capture them in some places. You know what I mean? It's when you look at them, it's quite obvious that they're the 2014 spikes. And I really love this. I really, really love this. It's so different. It's a different approach. I love how his head is cocked to the side. The head actually moves, can open the mouth, arms and legs move. The tail is on a ball joint, so there is some good articulation here. And he's just in a killer pose. He's, you know, he's roaring. He's bellowing to the Mudos, looking for a fight, you know what I mean? Like, this is a really nice looking 2014 Godzilla. I love the 2014. So, and I've been really digging Playmates toys lately, as you've seen in some of my other reviews. I've been giving them a lot of praise, and it's worth it. And these are really, really nice. I'm interested to see what else they do. You know what I mean? These look beautiful together. Kong looks great. You know, he's every Kong that they do is getting better and better. You know, and I love that they were able to go back in time with these figures. You know, and show us a Playmates 2014 Godzilla and 2017 Skull Island Kong. You know, it's just yeah, it's really nice to add these to the GVK and the GXK series from Playmates, the 6-inch series from Playmates. It just makes sense. Who knows? I wonder if they'll do maybe, Godzilla, Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra. I hope so, from the Monsterverse line. You know, we'll see what the next ones are. But these are so cool. You can make Kong hold the propeller. You know, you could have Godzilla step on the tank. How about that? Godzilla stepping on the tank. Yeah, these are super nice, man. I'm very, very grateful to have them. Thank you, Alec. Thank you, man. It's cool. I hope I did you an honor in the video, man. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. And I might have to watch these two movies over again. This is what started everything, these two movies. Godzilla 2014 and Kong Skull Island. This was the beginning of the Monsterverse and the beginning of establishing a storyline that would put these two together on screen where they rightfully belong. Just cleaning it up at the box office, you know. And yeah, these are great. And yeah, I think I'm gonna watch these two movies again this weekend. You know, these figures took me back to those movies. So what we're gonna do is we're going to before I bounce, I'm gonna compare Kong with one of the skull crawlers. All right, now this is the skull crawler from GVK, but he actually scales quite kind of nice, kind of, you know, on the bigger side, the skull crawler, so it does look like the big skull crawler. So that's kind of cool, you know. I need a better skull crawler figure. I'd like to get the higher toy skull crawler. That's the one from this movie, you know. Maybe he would look really good with this Kong. But this one does too. It scales up just perfectly, honestly. Looks like the fight that he had with the big skull crawler. So I like that a lot. And now I just want to show you the progression of Kong through each different movie, you know, and the differences in the figures. Like you could tell this is a young teenage Kong right here, a Skull Island Kong who's ready to scrap. And now you're getting an adult Kong in his prime after he got the axe, you know. And you could tell the difference in the face, you know what I mean, as Kong got older. Even though they went back and did this figure, but, you know, you could tell that this is young Kong, this is middle Kong, middle Dewey. And then, of course, the older, much more powerful Kong with the beast glove. And you can see his, you know, his fur is thicker, his beard is longer. And I think that these Playmates figures perfectly capture the progression of Kong in the MonsterVerse through these films. You know what I mean? And that's just awesome. I can't say enough about Playmates toys. For the price, I highly recommend them. You know what I mean? These are good collectibles, good figures, good looking figures with good detail for a cheap price. You know, you won as a collector when that happens. So, all right, let's flip it back to the Goji. All right, now, unfortunately, I don't have any Mutos. I need to get some nice ones. I saw a couple really nice ones today, but some of them are pretty, the Mutos are pretty expensive because they didn't really make that many Muto figures. But it would definitely be nice to pair up the male and female Mutos with this figure on the shelf. So I'm going to look into doing that, you know. Like, yeah, that's how nice this figure is. Like, I'm looking to order expensive Mutos to post it on the shelf with a Playmates toy, with a Playmates figure. That's how good Playmates is starting to get, you know. And I love this. I love the stylistic Andy Warhol paint job. You know what I mean? Like, it's quite fascinating. So now, but since I don't have any Namutos, what I want to do with this guy is just show you the progression of Godzilla through the MonsterVerse film. So let's do that. All right. Now, this is great, you know. You could clearly see here the difference in how Godzilla evolved through each of the movies of the MonsterVerse, you know. You have the big, bulky Godzilla from 2014. And then we have a slimmed down but more powerful Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong. To Godzilla from GXK, but the heat ray version after he charges up. And then we have the evolved Godzilla with the pink dorsal plates and pink atomic breath. And these are the changes that Godzilla went through each movie. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know. As the movies grow and grow, like each one grows on me more and more. But I go back to the 2014 and appreciate the look of that guy. You know what I mean? I love the way he looked in Godzilla versus Kong. I think they pretty much nailed his look in that movie. And the new evolved look is growing on me, but I like collecting the 2014. I think that's a badass. And this one is such a cool, it's such a cool figure, and I'm so happy to own it, and it looks great, you know? All right, so just to bring this review to a close, I really, really love these figures. I love what Playmates is doing lately. These are excellent, excellent. I highly recommend them. Go out, get you some Goji and some Kong, and I'll be back with you guys with the next review. Thanks again, Alec. Peace out, man. Take care, guys.